Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video I'm doing a full face of makeup for you and this eye look. I've got a couple of new products to show you which I'm really excited about. One that I thought wasn't going to perform, which actually did on my eyes, so I'm really happy about that. So let's get into the makeup. Okay, so please disregard my hair today. It is an absolute mess. I've got every single product that you can possibly imagine in it. So I've already primed my face. I've used my Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer from Tarte, and then my Murad Oil Control Mattifier as well, all over my face. I'm going to go in with my most favourite foundation, Dior Backstage Face and Body, and I've got two colours. I've got the 3N and the 2N. So I'm just going to place a little bit. Make sure you shake it up first. It's fairly liquidy, this one. So I'm just going to place a little bit in the areas where I will be putting bronzer and darkening up my face. So this is the 3N going on. So I'm a little bit, I'm a fair bit too light at the moment for the 3N all over my face. And then I'm going to go in with the 2N in the interior. So you can see that's a fair bit lighter. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques buffing brush. I'm going to go into those lighter areas first up. And then just buff in the rest of that darker colour. Okay, so you can see already that gives me a little bit of definition just using the darker colour around the perimeter. So I'm going in, as always, with my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector on a Morphe E20. I should know this brush by now. So it's really light pink apricot, and I'm just going to go underneath my eyes. So it's not a concealer as such, but the texture is just perfect for underneath my eyes where my wrinkles are. And then going straight in with my MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose over the top of that, a little bit lower down. All the high points of your face. So I'm going to use the same brush, I'm just going to start low down and push up. Really pushing that into the skin. And then with my foundation brush, I'm just going to go over the edges of that so there's no demarcation lines whatsoever. So next up I'm going with my Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel on a MAC brush, a stippling brush. I'll pop the numbers of all these brushes in the description bar for you. I'm just going to pat that in. Now I do go down the side of my face here in front of my ear with my bronzer. It just helps to slim your face out a little bit more, and then I'll take it up into the temples as well. So today I'm using NARS Liquid Blush in Luster, so it's a really light apricot colour. So it is a liquid. So I'm just going to pat some on my face here with the actual applicator, and then I'm going to go in with a Real Techniques setting brush and just pat that in. So then I'm going to use my Chantecaille Liquid Lumiere in Sheen, which is a beautiful champagne colour. So I'm just going to use the same setting brush from Real Techniques, just pop a little bit on my hand because this does come out quite hard and fast. and just on the high points here. Now I do put some highlighter on my nose later on because I do use powder highlighter, because I do find that with the liquid it just takes off the foundation that I do have on my nose already. So I like to stick with a powder for my nose area. Okay, now I am going to set all of this today, so I do want it to last a fair while, and blush notoriously comes off first, off your face, or actually fades first. So I'm going with my bronzer. This is Too Faced Sweetheart Bronzer, Baked Luminous Glow Bronzer in Sweet Tea. So one side is matte and one side is a bit luminous. So I'm just going to go in and just pick up from both sides and then just pat that in. And then blend upwards. So just blending up and out on the forehead. I always go in and just pat it on, because sometimes you find you just have a little bit too much on your brush and you just don't want a really huge line on your face. With that, I'm going to go in with MAC's Mineralized Blush in Warm Soul, which is a nice apricot, on a Real Techniques blush brush, and just set that blush. I'm going to use a little bit just to blend that bronzer in with the lighter part of my face there. And then going in on top of that with my MAC, what's this one, Soft and Gentle, on a Anastasia A23 brush, and I'm just setting that highlighter. So it's the same colour, a similar colour as Champagne. Just a little on my nose area. Now that is a little bit too stark for me, that highlighter, so I always go in with my Sigma. This is an F50, I'm pretty sure, Duo Fiber. And then I just blend over the top of everything upwards. And I don't want any harsh lines there, so this helps to blend everything. And even where your highlighter stops, just blend it up. I'm just going in now with my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Solar. This is light to medium, this one, on a Too Faced contour brush, just on the tip of the brush. And I like to just do a little tiny bit of contour on my nose, right up into my brow area. So that's on a curve there, it's definitely not straight. And then I just blend that down with the belly of the brush there. Pixie Crayon Combo in Wide Awake, so I'm using the matte side. Just give a little bit of lightness around my nose and mouth. And then I always blend that in with a lightly dampened beauty blender. And then I'll go back in with that contour brush on the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Solar and pop a little bit just below my lip there. Okay, so onto eyes, P.Louise Rumour 01 Eye Base on a Concealer Buffer brush. And I'm just going to go in the crease and above with that. And just buff that in right down to the inner corner, right up and right out. So I'm just doing the crease and above because I'm going to put a dark base on the lid and the crease. which I will do now. So I'm going in with Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This one's in Caffeine, so it's a beautiful brown colour. I just go in and shape out where I want the brown in my eye shadow to be. And I'm just going to go over that and pat that with that P.Louise eye base brush. So what I'm doing here, a little bit unconventional, but I'm just going in with the cotton bud just right over the very edge. Just to blur that edge a little bit. I don't want to spread it too fast, that's why I'm using a cotton bud and just really lightly going over that edge there. Okay, so that base is on both eyes. I just love that colour as a shadow itself. It's just my type of colour. It's beautiful. So I've blended the edges really lightly with that cotton bud, and I'm going in with a MAC 221S, and this is Anastasia's Paper Tiger. So it's absolutely, I don't even know how to describe this. It's just a mustard colour basically. So just a little bit on the tip, just tap off any excess, and I just want to go right on the edge of that colour. So I'm just blending that basically out even more and just adding a little bit, tiny bit more depth of colour there. I'm just going to wipe off any excess just on a towel on my desk here, and then I'm just going to go into MAC Brule, which is a really light bone colour, on that same brush, and I just want to blend the very edge of that last colour that we put in. So just softening that edge even more. It's a lot enough colour not to show up as such, but it's enough to actually blend that even further. Okay, so the main reason I wanted to do this video today was to show you these Lime Crime Diamond Dew. Now, I'm not real happy with these. I've actually put this on my hand already and compared it to the photos that you see on their website, and it just doesn't come up to scratch. But I'm going to use it today just to show you. So it's a Diamond Dew Liquid Glitter Eyeshadow Topper. So this one's in Chocolate Diamond. So I'm just going to go in with the applicator and pop a little bit of that on my lid, sort of in the inner corner here. And then the outer corner, not quite as high as I put that primer before. And then I just want to go across the middle there. Now it's beautiful, it's shimmery, it's got some glitter in it, but it's just, I don't know, just comparing to the website, it just doesn't look like it's the same product to me, but it is beautiful. Now I've got hooded eyes, I've got uneven eyes, so I've got to actually go in and do both eyes and make sure they're both even. So I'm going back in with the Paper Tiger, just on the very edge of that Diamond Dew, just blend a little bit more, just to try and blend that harsh line. Now you've got to work quickly with this too, because it does dry pretty quick. Okay, I think I take that back. It's actually really quite nice. It's got a fair bit more glitter there on the eye than it had when I put it on my hand. So it just goes to show you really need to put it on your eyes. So I do really like that. I'm going to go in also today with ColourPop Supernova Shadow. Now this colour is called Juvenile. So it's a champagne colour, so I'm just going to pop that right in the centre. Right up to that crease line there. And then just blend that with my finger. So that's pretty, just gives you a little bit more of a pop right in the centre there. Some MAC Gigablack Lash, Extended Play Gigablack Lash. Just my favourite ever. I'm going to continue with my lashes, pop some lashes on, and I'll come back and we'll do the bottom lash line and some lipstick. Okay, so the lashes are on. I'm going in with Marc Jacobs Lacquer, a gel eyeliner just in the tight line area. Okay, so for the bottom lash line, I'm doing Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eyeliner in Brownie, I'm pretty sure this one's called, yep. I am going to go a little bit further down with this eyeliner. And I'll go back in with Paper Tiger on that 221 brush from MAC and just blend that right along the bottom. I love this colour. I just want to pop a little bit of that Supernova colour in the inner corner, so I'm going in on a Sigma pencil brush. Just wipe a little bit of that off. Just dabbing that in there. So time for some lips. I'm going in with MAC Lip Liner in Oak. Some Dose of Colours Sand. And then just over the top of that is Jouer Lip Topper in Skinny Dip, so it's a champagne colour. Oh, I like that. Oh, that smells like lollies. And I'll just set that today with my Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I'm just covering my eyes. I'm happy with how that turned out today. I really didn't think that Diamond Dew was going to do what I thought it would do on my eyes. Like I said, I'd only ever put it on my hand and was disappointed, but I really do like that on my eyes as well. And I love that Paper Tiger colour. I just love that. That's beautiful, from Anastasia. So if you like the look today, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up, subscribe, click on the notifications bell so you're notified when I do upload some more content so you don't miss any. Have a great day, be the best version of you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.